Welcome to JFix, and we're back with the ProArt laptop that I fixed in the previous video. There were still a few things that I actually wanted to get done on this laptop before I sold it, so I thought that would actually warrant a separate video in itself, going through that, separate to the repair. But yeah, let me just show you this in a bit more detail. The laptop itself is cleaned up really nice. There was some residue here before where the stickers were, but that's cleaned off with some alcohol. It is a bit of a fingerprint magnet, but it does wipe off. And inside it was a little bit grubby as well, but that's all cleaned really nicely. So it's a bit of a dust magnet, and here cleaned it all with alcohol as well, nice and clean. I have to say, I'm incredibly impressed with this laptop, the quality of it. I've not had one of these before, seen one of these, but yeah, especially the screen in person, the colours just look absolutely incredible on it. I know it's a 4K display with HDR, all of those kind of bells and whistles, but yeah, it looks amazing. The colours and the definition on this screen, you can definitely see why it's quite a premium laptop. And for creators and that, with the accurate colour representation, and it's got some quite cool features on here. The speakers as well, the Dolby and the Harman Kardon, they sound amazing. And you've got this little wheel here that you can press. Oh yeah, you hold it in and you can just rotate, and you can probably add extra things on here. At the moment it's just set up as a volume wheel, and you can use it to adjust the brightness on the screen as well. It's quite cool. But yeah, there's obviously I want to sell this laptop. I've got no need to keep it, but because I'm selling it on eBay, I just want to make sure absolutely 100% everything is working really well on this laptop before I sell it. I was going to have a look at take the cooling off, take the heatsink and the fans out, but it does have liquid metal in here. After doing a bit of research, it doesn't have normal thermal paste, so I don't really want to mess with that and break the seal unless there is an issue with it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share the screen on this laptop, show you what I've done so far, and we'll go through what we need to use to be able to do a real thorough test on this laptop. Right, here we are on the desktop, and when I installed Windows 11 on this laptop, it took quite a bit of work to get it up and running correctly. That's because all the drivers were missing, and even basic things like the mouse wasn't detected by Windows. It required the drivers to be installed. The Wi-Fi wasn't working as well, that also needed drivers, so it was difficult to get things set up on here. I had to plug in an external mouse, had to download the drivers from another machine because the Wi-Fi wasn't working on here, and then transfer them over on a USB stick. You can see how many drivers are here, all had to be installed. If we go now into the device manager and have a look, everything's updated to the latest version. All the drivers have come off the ProArt website specifically for this particular laptop off ASUS, and yeah, everything's working in there. No unknown devices. Quite happy that I've tested everything as well. I've tested microphone, speakers, even the cursor wheel specific to this laptop, the camera, and I can't find anything that's not working. So all the things are detected in Device Manager, so I'm happy that everything is working now. At this point, I think what it'd be wise to do, because this is going to be sold, is actually to create a restore point. So if somebody needs to, they can get back to this point later at time, rather than having to install Windows 11 again and go through the whole process of reinstalling all the drivers. I think that's what I'm going to do now, is just get that backup sorted and get a Windows restore point. To make the system restore point, I'm just going to search in here, create a restore point. It doesn't allow me to create it at the moment. I'm going to have to go into configure and turn on the system protection and press OK. Then I can get the create button now. add a description. So I'm going to put fresh install. Create, and it's creating a restore point. Right, I'm going to allow that to do that thing. That was quite quick. Created successfully. So at any point, if they want to go back to this point in time where it's a fresh install, with everything working, they can go into system restore, and here we go. There's my restore point with a fresh install. And yeah, click next and go back to that point in time. So the three things I want to test is the processor, the GPU, and the memory on there. Obviously testing the thermals as well. So I'm going to start off with the processor first, because I can do this from Windows using just Cinebench, just a basic benchmark test there. I've already downloaded this and installed it, so I'm just going to run that now. And we're here. I think what I'll also do is I'll just bring up the task manager window as well, so we can see the processor. Okay, so our CPU is at 3% at the moment on idle. And we're going to go for the multi-core start. And we're away. We can see the details of the processor. That's the 13th gen i9, 24 cores. And we're just going to let this do its thing. And if we look at the CPU utilization, it's going up. Okay, well, that doesn't seem to be able to max out the CPU. We're only running at 40% on here using Cinebench. I'm just going to have a look at some more options, see if there's something that will hopefully stress this a bit better, because I really want the CPU to be maxing out at 100% the whole time. Okay, because Cinebench wasn't maxing out the CPU, I've gone for this burn-in test. I'm going to give this one a go, see how that handles it. There seems to be various tests you can use here. There's one that's called the max CPU temperature. I'm going to try this one, see how we get on. Okay, and are we running? Yeah, CPU's going up. We're at 70 odd now. Again, we're not quite getting up to that 100%. I'd like to see. Might have a little play around in here and see if I can adjust any settings. Try and get some more stress testing out this CPU. I've just been a bit puzzled why I couldn't get 100% CPU usage trying two different tests on here, and I just walked away from it, came back, and I realised that I didn't even have it plugged into the charger. I think that's going to be what the issue is. Obviously on the battery, I think it must have a battery saver mode, and you can't get the full potential out of the laptop unless it's actually hooked into a mains power source. I'm going to try that now, connect that, and then we'll go back on the laptop, see if that makes a difference. Here we go, we're plugged in with the power now. Let's go again. Max CPU temp, go. Continue. Let's see. Yeah, boom, we're straight up at 100% now. And it looks like it's staying at 100%. That's more what I expected. Alright, let's see, how long has this test got? It looks like it's a 2-hour test. I think what I'll do then is I'm just going to leave this going and see how we get on. We're a bit further along now with this laptop. I walked away while it was doing its stress test, and when I came back the screen was black, and pressed the button, woke the screen up, logged back in, and the test had failed on there. I checked the settings, the laptop hadn't restarted, it was just back on this screen again, and the power management settings were set to actually turn off the screen after 15 minutes, even when the DC jack was plugged in. So I've changed that in the Windows settings now, so when the jack is plugged in, the screen is always on and the laptop doesn't shut down. But I went to do another test. This is interesting. The first test as well, as soon as the test started, I started getting temperature fails. I'll show you what happens now. So if we start this test again and click go, at the moment you can hear the fans aren't running at all. There we go. So the CPU utilization is going up to 100%, and we've not got any readings in here at the moment. But straight away you get a few errors with the temperature, and you can see the CPU's shooting up. We're over 90 degrees at the moment, and that I think is purely just because the fans aren't running. So the computer's sat idle and the fans aren't on. When the CPU usage shoots up to 100%, it just there's a little bit of time before the fans start kicking in. And you can hear they're now kicking in, and as soon as that happens, the temperature does drop down. So we'll leave that going for a second. The fans are really ramping up now. See, some of these temperatures are over 90 at the moment, and we've got 12 errors at the moment, 14 errors, but it equals out. It should start cooling down in a minute. Try focusing. Here we go. So they were in the 90s and now they're dropping down. Keep an eye on them. You've also got your hard drive temperature and graphics card temperature. See, they aren't under load at the moment. But this program is maxing out now, the CPU. It's like 100% along the graph here. There's no drops in there. It's running 100% all the time. If we look at these temperatures now, they're all in the 70s now. And I've run this test again for about half an hour, and that's temperature is remaining stable. It's not changing. They're all staying quite happy around that temperature with the fans running full. Yeah, so I'm quite happy now that I don't see the need to keep running this test for hours and hours. Obviously it is just a laptop, it's not like a desktop PC with a huge cooler or water cooler in it, but that load 100% isn't what you'd normally expect anyway. Even if you were gaming or doing something, I don't know, the CPU might have spikes up to 100, but never running 100% like that. But even there now, those errors have stopped. It was only initially while those fans were spinning up we got a few errors there, the 14. But if you keep that going, it just stays at the 14 errors now. And those temperatures, show you again, they're all stabilised now. And at max load, I think any temperatures there, like within the 70s, 60, 68, 70, 77, anything below 80, I think is quite a good temperature really, considering the CPU is running 100% on the laptop. So I'm quite happy with that. I think I'm going to leave that test there and move on to the next test now. So I'm happy with the CPU test. The next thing I want to test is the GPU as well. So it looks like we can actually do it within this software. I've not used this burn-in test software before, but let's give this a go. We've got Max GPU test here. And within the Windows Task Manager, we can also see the GPU usage on here. We've got Intel graphics and obviously the NVIDIA graphics card as well. I don't know if we can expand that. Yes, we can. There we go. So I'm guessing they're both in use, both GPUs. So I think it's a kind of a power saving thing on this laptop, that if you're in the desktop environment, it'll just be using the Intel onboard graphics on the chipset. And then for high intensity things that need the RTX 4070, it will use that as well, or a combination of them by the looks of it. Let's try this max GPU test, see how that works. Okay, looks like it's starting. So it's giving us the same temperature here for the CPU cores. I've got any data that's coming in there now. GPUs 2. It's detected both of them there. And look, the usage has gone straight up on both of them. They're both like running at 100% now. Yes, let's leave this one going for a little while and see what happens there. As I can hear it at the moment, the fans aren't spinning up on the laptop. They're still quite low compared to doing the CPU test. Right, the GPU test has just finished now. Test passed. You can see the GPUs were at 100% and they've dropped right down now as the test has finished. I'm quite happy with that. So it was maxing out the whole time. It was doing the test. The test is only a 15-minute test on there. I think you could run it for longer if you wanted to. I don't see the point in doing it any longer than that. For what we're doing is just doing a basic test really. We're not suspecting that there are any issues, but it's just kind of peace of mind really, just to give it a test. Right, okay, I'm going to move on to the next test now, the last one. Alright, last test that I want to do is memory. I think if there is going to be anything that's going to go wrong, it would be the memory, most likely. I'm still going to use this burn-in test software on here because it seems like you can just do everything from this software, which is quite good. This software itself is an evaluation version. When you install it, it gives you 30 days to use it. That's perfect for my needs here, because all I literally want to do is do a test, then uninstall it and be gone with it. So yeah, let's do RAM test and see how that one gets on. Started straight away. Let's have a look at the memory here. 20 gig, 25, 26. There's a 32 gig in a single slot installed on this laptop. Alright, it's doing its thing. Duration. I don't know how long this test runs for. But memory usage has gone right to the top now. Let's leave this going and yeah, see, hopefully this is successful with no errors as well. Memory test results are in. And we've obviously got a test passed on here. Memory usage was right at the top and it's dropped right down. Wow, I've only just realised that the laptop's a touchscreen. Didn't even realise that. Okay. Yeah, that's a surprise. Okay, yeah, so I'm happy with that really. It's done a 15-minute test on there, and that's everything I wanted to test. Okay, I think we're going to wrap up this video now. Obviously I'm selling this laptop on eBay, so these tests that I've just done there was just for my own kind of peace of mind before it goes on to another person, just to make sure I'm really happy that the thermals are okay. That was my biggest worry. But I was testing the memory, processor, graphics card, happy all of those are working. The only things I've just done now is uninstall any remnants of that software that I was using on there to do the tests. So this is kind of like factory now, ready to go to somebody. But yeah, very happy with this laptop, and I thought it would warrant a separate video. So it's not a tutorial, it's just me doing my thing on here to test this video, but test this laptop, sorry. Hopefully that might be useful to somebody. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap up this one for now. Hopefully I'll have another laptop. Quite interested to do a few laptops on this channel, and maybe some games consoles. So I'm going to be on eBay having a look for some faulty items that I can try to repair. Maybe something interesting. Okay.